Hello students, welcome to the demo videos of DCMT lab. Today in this video we are going to see the third experiment, which is load test on DC shunt and series motor. This experiment we are splitting into two. That is, third experiment A subdivision is load test on DC shunt motor, B subdivision is load test on DC series motor. It is otherwise it is called brake test. Brake test, we are using brake drum and spring balance for loading the motors, right? So now this one is the DC shunt motor load test. Here we have to make connections as usual by seeing the circuit diagram, make the connections. And we are using 3-point starter to start the DC shunt motor, and for measuring the voltage, current and control the speed we have a rheostat. Measuring voltage, current, we have the meters, right? And for setting the load, we have the spring balance and brake drum arrangement. So now the condition, initially it should be in rheostat position, should be in minimum, that is to be ensured, and all the loads should be released. There should not be any load at the time of starting. So after ensuring this thing, and a usual thing, that is tightening of connections, all the things to be ensured before starting the machine. So now we are going to start the machine, but by switching on this MCB and using the 3-point starter, we are starting the motor. Yes, so it is getting started, and it is taking some voltage and current, with the speed is shown here. And first thing, set the rated speed using the field rheostat. First check the speed of the motor, which is 1460. So my rated RPM is 1500. So I have to set the speed to rated speed using the field rheostat. So after setting the rated speed, we can start loading the motor. This one is the no load condition reading, voltage, current, speed under no load condition. Now I am going to load the motor, right? So loading the motor using the spring balance. So while loading, the S1, S2, spring balance 1 and spring balance 2 readings are getting changed, and so the loading can be seen in the ammeter. See that in the ammeter, it is loaded. We are getting some current, increase in current, right? And also the speed may be changed. Change in speed from no load to full load is happening. Yes, sir. So likewise, we have to add the load up to the rated current, that is 12 ampere is the rated current for this machine. So we have to apply load, maybe 2 ampere, 4 ampere, 6 ampere, and up to 12 ampere. You have to take some 6 different readings for each 2 ampere load. What will be the current, voltage, speed, all those things, right? So, and while loading, we have to pour some water for cooling the brake drum. So like this, we have to note down. At least 6 different readings, 6 different load conditions. After completing, release all the loads, and then bring the rheostat position to minimum, and then switch off. So this is how we are taking, the readings for load test on DC shunt motor. With these readings and measuring the radius of brake drum, measuring the RA value, all those things, we can do calculations for torque, output power, input power, efficiency. So the performance characteristics of the shunt motor can be drawn as a result of this experiment. So now the next, the part B of this experiment is DC series motor. Yes, the third experiment, B subdivision, is load test or brake test of series motor. Here also we have to make connections based on the circuit diagram. It has been made, right? Here the difference here is we use 2-point starter, whereas in shunt motor we might have used a 3-point starter. Here it is 2-point starter, and there is no rheostat for speed control, all those things, right? And as usual, for measuring voltage current we have the ammeter, voltmeter, and for connecting loads we have the brake drum and spring balance arrangements. Yes, here the condition for switching on this DC series motor, after ensuring the tightening of connections, and the main important thing is to be noted is that the series motor should always start with some load. It should be loaded initially. Whereas the shunt motors are under no load condition at the time of starting. Series motors should always start with load. Never start without load. If you start without load, this motor will run at a very high speed. So it is danger. So if you are trying to start like that, the MCB may get tripped. So that is the main precaution. Right, now we have connected load, and we have put some load with the DC series motor. I am going to switch on the motor now. As usual, switch on the MCB, and using starter I am starting the motor. Yes, see that the motor is started now, and it is taking some 11.5 ampere or 12 ampere, and some voltage. Actual current, load current, rated current is 12 ampere. So I am starting this motor with full load. So with this I am taking readings between the current, voltage, and the speed. I am reducing the load now. See that you can see that current is reducing because I am reducing the load. So while reducing load, the speed is increasing. That you can measure. So when you are increasing and decreasing the load, the speed is increasing and decreasing. See that? So when you are decreasing load, the speed is increasing, right? When you are increasing the load, the speed is decreasing. So for different load condition, you have to note down at least 5 or 6 readings. It is 12 ampere is the rated current. You may go up to 13 ampere or up to 12 ampere. In between that, every 2 ampere you have to note down the readings like voltage, current, speed, F1, F2 values. So with that, we do the calculation. So that's it for the procedure for taking readings in DC series motor. After tabulating all the readings, do the calculations which is same as that of the shunt motor or any load test. From the readings you can find the input power, and then torque, that is from the S1 difference S2, and radius of the brake drum, and gravity constant 9.81. With that you can find the torque, and from the torque you can find torque and speed. 2 pi nt by 60 will give you the output power, and voltage and current will give you the input power, and output by input will be your efficiency. So efficiency, torque, speed, current, all those things are there. With that you can plot the characteristics for DC series motor and shunt motor. Yes, that's it for load test on DC series and shunt motor. Thank you.